All right. Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. I love all the support that I've been getting lately. And I just want to get right into it with yesterday's CPI data coming out hotter than expected. We had a bit of volatility and, well, I had a chance yesterday to double down on some of my long positions. And I do imagine with this data, we start to expedite things. You would think everybody would kind of catch on here, right? Higher inflation, right? What does that mean for stocks and Bitcoin and real estate and really all the things we need to survive? Are they getting cheaper with higher inflation? I don't know. But there's a great setup right now for Bitcoin. And really, it's right in front of our faces here. You can see the price action right there. With that in mind, there's going to be an even bigger setup for the week to come. And so what we need to do is juxtapose the short term from the long term timeframes and price action. And in this case, hopefully I can really make this as simple as possible. And so there is an emergency Fed meeting being called on Monday. Why? Well, I want you guys to listen to this little clip here from
7 hikes, consecutive 7 hikes, 25 basis points each through the rest of 22. Then they say we go to a gradual pace of once per quarter. That pace into...
So by the way, if you want to follow us on Instagram, just type in Bitcoin Advisors and we're right there. But yeah, so there's an emergency Fed meeting on Monday. Goldman Sachs is saying they're looking at 7 rate hikes in 2022. And, basically what appears to be happening is the Fed is losing control of inflation and its policy is absolutely dog doo-doo, right? We all know that. We all know these guys are absolutely full of dog doo-doo, and inflation is higher than 7.5%, right? You see it in the gasoline prices, you see it in the coffee, lumber, wheat, electricity, all the things we need to survive, the things they don't account for in the CPI data, which is absolutely crazy. So here's the thing, with a meeting like this on Monday, right? Here's the thing, the market does very likely price in the worst case scenario, and that is the anticipation of the market that the Fed is going to come in and probably raise rates a little bit early and maybe not provide as much liquidity to the Fed's balance sheet, essentially put the brakes on QE, right? All the, the free financing that they're injecting into the market. So, what does that mean for the market? Well, they probably have a bit, the market's going to have a bit of an ebb and flow here, right? A little bit of volatility, a little bit of sideways, up and down, and frankly, it's just confusion. People don't know what to expect. So really what's funny about Monday's meeting is that it doesn't even matter what they say in this meeting, okay? It's the expectation versus the reality, okay? If they come out and they say, hey, we thought about it, and raising rates, I mean, we're just not going to do that. We're just going to keep doing what we've been doing and slap another Band-Aid on this cut jugular, right? If something like that happens, you're going to see the markets just buoy back up. I mean, and frankly, Nasdaq has just been flip-flopping around here, holding this level. S&P's up 10. Dow's up 128. So if they do that, markets buoy up, okay? But ultimately, look, I do think this market does start to head back onwards and upwards, higher from where we're at. And, I do still think there is the threat of a downside move. Again, this gap in the CMEs, gaps like to get filled right around 41,000. So here is the key critical information for today. We have, 2 key indicators, okay? One of them is what we've been discussing yesterday on the 4-hour time frame, right? And that is going to be a 4-hour closure above 45.5 or below 42.5. That is going to give us our next major move, okay? That's one one indicator, if we do close, and here's the second one on the daily time frame. What we have on the daily. Oh, look at that. We're popping back up here, 43,600. Let's take a look on CMEs. That looks a little bit more nasty. So what were we talking about just over the past week? It's called hidden bearish divergence. So the price is making lower highs here clearly, yet RSI, the relative strength index, is making higher highs. And in fact, is that two higher highs, two drives of, no. But, so from this point here to that point there. So how would we confirm that hidden bearish divergence, which will probably give us a move to fill the gap back down at 41,000? We need a daily closure below this low. Okay, we had a tick below, which gives us a move to the 9 exponential. We talked about that yesterday as well. But we're bouncing it up here, which I do like. Okay. So, hidden bearish divergence, right? And that is right in line with the daily Stokes on the spot price action, which are going to be crossing down today with any kind of a closure below 45,500. And this is the first time daily Stokes have crossed down really since December 27th. And well, that is our momentum indicator. So if you pair that, it's trend momentum and volatility, right? So we're in a downtrend. We're getting lower highs and lower lows. And momentum's turning down with any kind of a daily closure below 45.5 or 44,469. And then volatility is contracting. So is this more in line with a corrective move? And we have some kind of a consolidation between 40,000 and 44. Yeah, I think that is the case. But I do actually look for Bitcoin to trade higher. And for the long term, as we did identify yesterday on the 3-day chart here, we got 3-day Stokes on the MACD crossing up and the 3-day Stokes crossing up as long as we are above 30. Well, they will be crossing down below 36.63. Cross below. So just negate that for a second. And let's take a look at our secondary chart. Throw on the MACD again. And why do we like this chart? Well, this has been a very, very strong signal and has produced some very significant bounces. I mean, literally, you could trade this thing with your eyes closed, right? Just blindly trade it. What I mean by that? Well, if you just bought the cross, let's see, the last cross, the MACD crossing to the upside was right here on October 4th. October 1st. And that cross produced a, and we'll go from the cross. So not this candle, but this candle, right? This cross has produced a significant bounce, 44%. Okay, let's go back and blindly trade this cross. So we're not going to trade it on the first candle, but the second one. And this one produced a 60% bounce. We know what this one produced, right? It was like 300% and 428%. And you can go back and test it yourself, right? I mean, I don't have time to go back and show you all of them. But if you want to be able to go back and look at this information and back test it for yourself and not just take my word for it, which I recommend you do. Don't trust me. Go check on it yourself. How can you do that? You need to set up a TradingView account, which I provided a link in the description below. All you got to do is follow the steps. It takes 15 minutes. It's free. It takes about 30 minutes if you really want to, get the colors all lined up and make it look pretty. That is what I would recommend you do because it's simple, it's easy, and if you're following along this channel, then it makes sense, right? So What else I want to talk about? We talked about hidden bearish divergence. We talked about the 4-hour, and that's basically it. You know, we need a 4-hour closure above or below these lines here, 42.5 to the downside and 45.5 to the upside. And with that, we're going to get our next big move. And I would say this, if we do get a closure back above here, I'm looking for a move. Call a move all the way up to, I think we'll stretch this all the way up to 50,000 over time. Okay. And if we do get a closure below here, I'm just looking for a move down to 41 to 40,000. And I do think, why is that? Because, you know, the 3-day Stokes and MACD cross to the upside will still remain to the upside, even if we do come out and play a short-term correction. And I would like that for a, you know, major buying opportunity with an awesome risk to reward potential. So feel free to post below what you think the Fed is going to do on Monday. Do you think they're going to raise rates? Do you think Jerome Powell is going to get up there and say, oh boy, I'm going to walk back my words and inflation is just transitory and, you know, we're just going to keep doing what we're going to do? I hope that's what he does, right? I hope that is what he does, but Nasdaq getting rejected here on the 4-hour. Let's see, what about on the daily? The daily, we got Stokes that will be crossing down below 14,500. So yeah, we do need this pivot to hold here on the Nasdaq. Remember, Nasdaq and Bitcoin are highly correlated. So when Nasdaq is going down, well, you know that's not good for Bitcoin. On the other side of the fence, I think there is going to be at some point this dislocation where people go, okay, Nasdaq and Bitcoin, they're not the same thing. One has a fixed supply, one has an infinite supply of shares, and one has an infinite supply of dollars, right? So at some point, you know, the light bulb is going to turn on for people, but I don't think we're there yet, you know, and I'll remain with the trend until the end of the trend. And right now, Bitcoin follows Nasdaq. Okay, what else I want to bring up? Some of our altcoins, some of our highly esteemed pieces of technology, and we'll take a look at the dollar. Why not? So dollar, as we were saying, if we could get a break below 95, that would look good for a move down here towards about 93 cents. Why don't I kind of adjust this now and see? Ultimately, we did say dollar looks like it's stronger. Strength in the dollar on a macro schedule on the weekly time frame. Yes, we're making higher highs and higher lows, and we did break the 2618. Sorry, the 1618, and that typically gives you a move all the way up to your next fib at $100. So I am looking for that dollar to reach $100. I'd probably say over the next 6 months, 6 to 9 months, that dollar probably does want to get higher. And well, invalidation would be any kind of a weekly closure back below 93, and that would look very good for Bitcoin. That's what we want to see. So we'll be keeping an eye on that dollar index. Dollar go up, bad for Bitcoin, bad for gold, bad for stocks. When the dollar gets stronger, it hurts the economy. I don't know why, or I do know why, but I don't have time to explain it today. And what's funny, yeah, they don't explain this to you in school, right? I mean, whoever told you about interest rates in school and how it affects the economy? Not me. Not me. Maybe I should just sniff that out of my video today. But yeah, let's get on to some of our altcoins here. I'm going to start out with Mr. GALA Games here, which did have a very nasty retracement all the way to the lows, but we are catching a bounce off the 9 exponential. And what I would say here is if we took our fibs out and we did something like this, any kind of a daily closure back above 38, call it 39, gives us a move to 43 cents with a short-term stop and continuation up to 49 cents. To the downside, any kind of a daily closure, back below here gets us a move down to the yellow 21 at 28 cents with the short-term stop, and I'd say judge it from there. Let's get on to Phantom. FTM versus the US dollar, and holding our critical region here at about $2.06. And I would say as long as that region holds, alongside Bitcoin picking itself up by its bootstraps, which I do think is the case. I think over the weekend we probably get some, depending upon where we close the week today, we probably get some flighty, floaty action over the weekend going into the Super Bowl. Maybe after Monday, everybody gets all jazzed up off the crypto.com ads and the NFL ads and all the NFL players that are getting paid in crypto. Yeah. I bet you'll hear something about some football guy that's taking a new contract and he's getting paid in Bitcoin. Why? Because dollars, we all know it. The fate of the dollar. The Fed is losing control. They are absolutely, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. We all would not have the Federal Reserve if we had a choice about it, I think. Okay, back on. So what do we want to look at? On the 4-hour on Phantom, yep. So basically this area needs to hold. If that breaks, you're probably going to retest the 186 level. Okay. Solana here, being a bit slumpy here, not as much as I would like to see. I would definitely like to see a 4-hour closure back above 113. Probably gives you a move to the range highs here at about $1.20 or $1.19. Anything over $1.19, I am still looking for this one to get hit at about $1.35. I believe that's the target we've been talking about over the past few days or week. Ultimately, that's where I'm looking for this one to go alongside Bitcoin heading up towards around 50,000. So the big question is, do we trade down or up for here? Down or up? Let's take a look at MATIC, another one of the strong ones, holding it on the green 55. We did lose support there. I don't know if that was on an hourly time frame. I don't know what I was doing there, but I'd basically move this hourly thing back down there, and let's take a look at it on the 4-hour. So lower lows, lower highs. What is volatility telling us? Volatility is ticking up here. And we do need to get back above $1.91 to bring the momentum to the upside. We are 3 cents away from doing it. So does MATIC get its momentum back to the upside at $1.91? Let's see. Stokes, 4-hour Stokes are down. Daily Stokes will cross down here today with any kind of a closure below 197. So yeah, daily Stokes down. 2-day still up as long as we're above $1.62. And you will see here, look, you get a tick below there, you're going to go to the 9 exponential. This big red candle is a bearish candle. However, there's low volume here. I would say that's pretty low volume, right? So yeah, this one had low volume and we reversed it. I would say if MATIC can pull itself back up above $1.92 by end of today, I look for this thing to continue onwards and upwards in the short term. But a short-term pullback coming into this trend line here, somewhere around $1.60 or $1.71 is completely fine. This thing's going to be a little bit more on the volatile side because it is an altcoin, right? But let's look at this 4-hour consolidation here and see what kind of targets we can get with our Fibonacci retracement tool. So any kind of a daily closure or 4-hour closure back above $2.08 gets us a move to 225 with extension all the way up to our top end target at about 250. I would love for that to happen here. Just love for that to happen. Mana here is showing relative strength. Are people in the metaverse really enjoying themselves? I imagine so. And by the way, at the end of the month, if you do click the subscribe button, you're going to get entered to win with all the people that subscribe to win an Oculus headset. Give it to your kids. Give it to your grandkids. Play with it yourself. I did one yesterday or 2 days ago, It literally, it's like a skydiving one, and it feels like you are literally jumping out of a plane and going over like some glaciers, and I believe it was somewhere in Greenland, but it was pretty interesting. But I mean, video games are not for me, so I'm only doing it for so I can talk about it, basically. Other than that, this one's looking droopy. I mean, we did break support here at Adam, come on. And now we're riding the 9 exponential to the downside. What is volatility doing? Volatility ticking up, and momentum is down on the 4-hour, and this one looks like it does want to come down. What about divergences? So we had our last chance for glory. I guess that's it right here. That is it. So how would we confirm this? We need a closure for hidden bullish divergence and a move back up to the $30 level on a 4-hour, which is closing in about 24 minutes here. We would need, how would we confirm this? We would need a closure, a 4-hour closure back above this last high. That would confirm hidden bullish divergence coming all the way back from this low right here, and some might not even call that a low. Let's take a look at this guy right here. That's a low. Nope, it would have to be coming from here, which close enough is close enough. No, I think that is probably not going to work for this case, but this one would work. So how many drives would you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of hidden bullish divergence. And what is that? When price is making higher lows and RSI is making lower lows. So I can't wait to put out a video for you guys to start to learn about hidden bullish and bearish divergence. It does play in nicely with all the analyses that we go over. And, oh yeah, Ripple and Cardano. Let's see how they're doing. Cardano, Mr. Cardano. We're hanging in here around the green 55. This thing's going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more, and relatively weaker than some of the other coins. But we need to get back above $1.16 on the 4-hour to cross the momentum to the upside. And I would say, look, any kind of a 4-hour closure back above 121 probably gets you a move at least to the highs of 126, and then 126 gets taken out. The next high is $1.40. If you want to be more conservative, you'd use something like, oh, let's look at this thing on a 2-day. Do we see anything on the 3-day? I mean, this thing is just down, down, down to doggy town, lower highs and lower lows. Yeah, any kind of a closure back below here at $1.09, and I'd be looking for this thing to re-swipe the lows down at 93 cents. If we can get back a daily back above $1.40, I would look for a move. And I'll just throw the fib on here. Here's the fib right here. Boom. 4-hour closure back above $1.47 gets you to $1.77. Okay, XRP. How's my XRPs doing? My XRP army members. Here we go. Here we go. And we're still trading in that range we talked about yesterday, which is going to be. This one looks very similar to Bitcoin, in fact. And we do need to confirm this 4-hour closure back above 82 cents, or call it, 83 cents. That should give you a drive back to the range high of about 88 cents, but it doesn't look like we're going to do it here. It looks like we're getting stopped out. We need Nasdaq to pick itself back up, the dollar to get weaker, and that would look very good. Let's see what the weekly on the dollar looks like. Looks like another, maybe a higher low in the making. I don't know. That's indecision. How would you confirm that as a higher low? Well, we need a closure next week back above 96 cents, and that would look for extension back up probably to 97 cents. Okay. Bitcoin dominance still trading in there. Bitcoin dominance is probably going to go up as most altcoins are going to get shattered with a downside move. I'm going to leave it off there, guys. What else? Gold. Gold trading in a range between that 1875 to the upside, to the downside. We got 1750. And where's the next move going to take us? We can get a weekly closure back above that guy. Looking at 1950 with the pullback, and then 2,000 an ounce over some time, which I think gold should probably do that, over the next, gold is a slow mover. But if the dollar goes up to $100, this thing's going to come down to 1630. Okay. Just in my opinion, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm just giving you a little bit of what I'm looking at on the charts. Remember, we are not financial advisors. But if you do enjoy the daily analysis, go ahead and click the subscribe button below to get reminded of all the future daily videos we put out and put together and all the resources we drop. Also, if you're interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin into your IRA or any cryptos, there is a link in the description below. And if you are old-fashioned like me, right, you can get this mailed out to you. It's the Expert's Guide to Crypto IRAs. We'll mail it to your house, or if you want to just download the brochure, you can go to the website. All right? Look forward to hearing from you guys. Hope you all have a blessed and highly favored, wonderful weekend. Take care. Signing out.